Have you ever faced a situation where your code just doesn't behave as expected? It can be incredibly frustrating, especially when you're trying to map data between classes. If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into a common issue with AutoMapper and how to handle null values effectively. I completely understand how annoying it is when your mapping doesn't work as intended, especially when a member unexpectedly becomes null. You're definitely not alone in this. Many developers encounter similar challenges when working with AutoMapper. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. One user recently asked, "How can I map a member in AutoMapper when the source member is null?" They provided an example with two classes, source and destination, where the type member in source can sometimes be null. Sound familiar? If so, let's explore how to tackle this issue together. So, what could be causing this issue? When the type member in the source class is null, it can lead to unexpected behavior in your mapping. Understanding how AutoMapper handles null values is crucial for implementing a solution that works seamlessly. And don't go anywhere. I've got a practical solution at the end that will help you handle null values in AutoMapper like a pro. To handle the mapping conditionally in AutoMapper, the user should start by configuring a custom mapping for the type property. This will allow the user to specify how to map the type property based on whether it is null or not. Next, the user should ensure that the mapping logic checks if the type property in the source class is null. If it is not null, it will map directly from type. If it is null, it will create a new ID_named_dest object using the type ID property. After setting up the mapping configuration, the user should test the mapping to ensure it works as expected. This can be done by creating instances of the source class with different scenarios, including cases where type is null. Finally, the user should verify the results of the mapping. They can check the properties of the destination objects to confirm that the mapping was performed correctly based on the conditions set. Did you know? AutoMapper was created to simplify the mapping process in .NET applications, and it has become a go-to tool for many developers. It's like having a personal assistant for your data transformations. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach suggested by another user involves using AutoMapper's built-in null substitution feature. This allows you to provide a default value for a destination member if the source value is null. Let's take a moment to review another user's answer. An alternative solution provided by another user involves using the null coalescing operator in C# 6.0. This allows you to map the destination member based on whether the source member is null or not. Now let's see a response from a different user. An alternative solution involves using mapping resolvers in AutoMapper. The user created a custom resolver class that checks if the source member is null. If it is, the resolver assigns a default value. This allows for flexible mapping based on the source's state. In the mapping configuration, the user specifies the resolver to handle the mapping of the main guide property. This ensures that the mapping logic is applied correctly during the transformation from source to destination. Here's the pro tip I promised. Always check for null values in your source objects before mapping. This simple practice can save you a lot of headaches down the road. And there you have it. You now know how to handle null values in AutoMapper effectively. Remember, implementing these checks can make your code more robust. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button for more tips, and don't miss our next video where we tackle more AutoMapper challenges.